Joining me now is Aquiles Larrea, founder and CEO of Larrea Wealth Management. Aquiles, welcome.
Good morning, Ashley. How's everything going today?
Great, so nice to see you again.
Nice to see you here as well.
So what developments in the market are you watching most closely as we kick off the first day of trading for December?
Yeah, well, right now we're looking at a couple of things. We're looking in a slowdown as far as unemployment is concerned. It wasn't as bad as people thought it was, although at this time, traditionally, we're starting to see that move towards the upside when it comes to layoffs. We're hearing about more layoffs occurring in the sector. And the next thing we're concerned about is the rising inflation. So that's a thing that we want to take into consideration as we move forward into our investments. We see that overall that retail is having a rebound. We're seeing leisure and luxury items are starting to perk up again. We're seeing also that the tariff situation is not affecting goods as much. On the higher end, persons understand that they're going to pay more for the luxury goods and services, but we're not seeing what we thought we might see going forward. And also with the tariffs in limbo, we're starting to see, okay, well, maybe it's not as bad as we thought, but once again, it's in limbo. We don't have a definitive solution on this yet. The courts have not decided, and I have a feeling this is going to be a Supreme Court thing. But there's a couple of bright spots that we have to be aware of. Among them, aerospace, technology, staying away from retail for now, even though they're being strong. But we're also very interested in industrials, but super selective right now. Want to be strategic about it and really get in at some really good price points right now.
Why are you putting a focus on industrials and tech? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start off with the industrials. The industrials have been under price pressure for God knows how long right now and been basically out of favor. But, we look to a couple of names out there, just like Caterpillar, for argument's sake. Caterpillar is thinking it's a growth stock right now. And like a tech, it's just rising up, has a solid dividend, solid growth strategy. And there are other names in the sector that we like, but are not doing as well. But we want to be in this sector because total return is very important. Want to make sure that you are in a strong area aside from technology. So that way you can bring more return, more gusto to the portfolios as a whole. And that's just one of the areas. Aerospace is another area as well, where, it has been under pressure so long that, we see even now you're seeing double-digit decreases in certain companies, but we think that overall, companies like Lockheed Martin, companies like Raytheon, they're going to do very well over the long run. Solid histories, decent dividends, but overall, more important to note that this sector has been maligned this year and has not really gone up. But once again, you really have to be super strategic about what you're going after in this particular sector.
And Aquiles, we've seen some recent choppiness in tech due to AI valuations. Is this affecting your investing approach toward the sector? Why or why not?
Yeah, well, we'd be foolish to say it doesn't affect our investments. Yeah, absolutely. Well, what you also want to be aware of, what sort of valuation can you put towards the future? And the question then becomes, well, we were, back in the .com area, there was a similar note, and it's self-corrected. We have a lot of AI companies where we don't really know the valuation strategy of, investors towards these companies. They're kind of winging it. But we do know one thing for certain, and that is they are the future. That's why the expenditures with companies like Microsoft are going through the roof. That's why they hired a space scientists to help with their nuclear strategy going forward. That's why these companies going forward know they're going to need a ton of energy, and there are only a few providers that are specializing in AI. And you want to be in that sector. You want to be with companies that have that ability for growth. You're not betting the farm on it. Absolutely not. But at the same time, if you are not in this, you are going to miss out.
All right. Thanks, Aquiles Larrea, founder and CEO of Larrea Wealth Management.
Thank you for having me.